Good morning. My name is Jasdeep Kaur and I am conducting your IELTS speaking today. So, what's your full name?
My full name is Harmanjot Singh, but you can call me Harman.
Can I see your ID?
Of course, here is the passport that I used to
Where are you
register for
from?
this test. I'm actually from Gurdaspur, but I'm currently living in Batala.
Do you work or study?
I'm a student. I've recently passed my 12th grade.
Now, I will ask you some general questions on the general topics. So, let's talk about books. Do you often read books?
Yes, I do read books. I've recently developed a habit of reading psychological books.
Why?
That's because I wanted to know more about the functioning of the brain. I wanted to know how mind works and how thinking is developed from different circumstances.
Are your reading habits different than in the past?
Yes, definitely. In the past, I used to read storybooks and nothing else, but now I've developed more interest towards reading.
Why it changed?
It changed because I found reading to be a great habit that can be developed. In the past, it was basically because of my academic studies that I used to read, but nowadays I find it very interesting to gain knowledge from reading.
Have you ever read a book that has been adapted into film?
Yes, I actually read a novel that was A Tale of Two Cities, and it was basically it was developed into a story later.
What do you prefer, reading books and watching movies?
Well, I do prefer reading books. I believe that when you watch a movie, you are basically just consuming everything that is displayed on the screen. But while you read books, you basically create a scene that is being represented by the book.
Let's talk about saving money. Did you save money when you were young?
Yes, I do remember whenever my mom gave me some money for buying groceries, I used to save the due money that was given to me back to me by the shopkeeper and use it at a later stage.
Have you ever given money to other children?
Yes, I do remember. I used to give some money to my cousins. They were quite young, and whenever they did some good work, I usually appreciated them by giving them some money.
Do you think parents should teach children to save money?
Yes, I believe saving money is a great habit that children can develop at an early stage, and this would definitely help them in the future.
Do parents give pocket money to children in your country?
Well, in my country, it basically depends on the financial position of a family. When people do have extra money, uh, they tend to give their children some money so that they can spend it on themselves. Other than that, I believe when people are living on the edge, they hardly give their children any money.
Now I will give you one QCA topic, and for that you have 1 minute for preparing it and 2 minutes for speaking about that topic. And your topic is describe a good news you had from others. And you can use this pencil and paper. You should start.
Okay, so a piece of good news that I heard from others. I remember this was an experience of me back in the days when I was when I was the house captain of my school. So basically, my school had four house captains, and I was one of them. And it was back in December when we were going through an inter-house cricket competition. I was very excited about it. I always liked cricket and I wanted to play for my country, and that's why always had a love for this sport. So when this inter-house competition came about, I was really excited about it. Though I wasn't part of the team, I always supported them, and we eventually made our way to the finals. And because of some work, I couldn't watch it, and I stayed at home helping my family do some work. And I remember in the evening, a friend of mine, Tanish, came over to my house and he was overjoyed and he told me that our house had actually won the final. He actually belonged to the opponent team, but he came there to support me and to make me feel happy about the hard work that I had put in. It was all a great news for me, and it helped
Please
me
stop.
consolidate.
Can I get pencil and paper back? Thank you. So, do you enjoy watching or playing match more?
I'm sorry.
Do you enjoy watching match or playing it?
Well, I like playing matches because I do prefer to be active in such positions.
Okay, now I will ask you some questions on the basis of your cue card topic. So, how do people share good news?
I believe basically nowadays people share good news towards the cell phone calls that they do. Other than that, email is a good option that people nowadays use.
Why do people share news on social media, and is it good to share news on social media?
I believe it has become a trend that nowadays people tend to present good news towards social media because they want to let everyone know that they are going through something good. And I don't believe that it's that good for someone to share news as such, because you should always keep your life very private.
How does modern technology affect the delivery of information?
Well, it has revolutionized the way that now information is being transferred to people. In the past, people used to talk to each other, and that's how people used to get information. But nowadays, you can just post a picture on social media, and everyone would come to know about what's happening with you.
Should the media only publish good news?
No, definitely not. I believe that media has the sole purpose of presenting information. It shouldn't matter about if the news is good or bad, it should always be presented.
When do people share good news?
I believe on special occasions, that's when people share good news. Whenever it's a birthday, that's when people would really call everyone and have a great fun.
What kinds of good news have you received before?
Well, I've received a few good news. As I mentioned before, I was the house captain, and whenever we won competitions, that's when my friends came over and told me about them. Other than that, I actually won an MEC test. It was an academic test that was held every year, and I actually came to know about by my teacher.
What kind of good news do people like to hear?
Well, it really depends on the age. I believe that older people would really love to have the news that their children are having further children. That's something that they would really admire. While young children or young minds would really love it if they get good grades. That's what I believe good information is key.
Do most people like to share good news?
It really depends. I believe that when people are more about telling others about their life, that's when they share good news, while some people like to keep it very personal and they don't share a lot of information to others.
Do people like to hear good news from their friends?
Yes, definitely. I believe that in the social community that we live in, people would love to hear good news from their friends.
Here is the end of your IELTS speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.